I'm Esther Githui Ewart. For more insight into the International Women's Day, I'm joined by Fatmata Barrie, a native of Sierra Leone, who is an immigration attorney in the state of Maryland, and she is also running for an office as a state delegate. Fatmata, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you.
So let's start with this year's International Women's Day theme, which is to press for progress. But looking back at the continent of Africa, 2018, where is the place of women as we stand?
Well, I believe that the place of women as we stand is improving. We've had presidents, we've had leaders, we've had ministers, and some countries, because we've had political members in parliament, things changed and rules were changed. And I think right now, women in Africa are working hard. They're creating businesses, they're creating jobs, and that needs to continue. We still have a long way to go, but I believe progress is coming along pretty well.
Now, when you look at women in Africa and the movement that we've seen here, starting here in the United States, and that has become a global phenomenon, or on Me Too, we've known for years that women in Africa have been sexually violated, especially in countries which face a lot of political conflict. Do you think this is a phenomenon that is catching up in Africa, and can anything be done to address the problem?
Well, I believe that the fact that we are even discussing it here in a station that goes out to Africa is a huge step. We historically don't talk about things of that nature, and I believe that the fact that we have encountered women who have shown strength and who have had the strength and the power to speak about not just something of this nature, but also some other violations that we've had in Africa, including female mutilations, including that, and the fact that we've had those types of women who have been very free and open in discussing it and stating their disagreements or agreements, depending on their stance.
Now, you mentioned women in Africa making progress in terms of politics, but
Yes.
Is this enough? Can women go it alone? Do they need the men to support them in this?
We definitely need the men to support, because as we know, most rules are for the men. Historically, that's what has happened in Africa. And although we've had a couple of instances, we've had a couple of countries who have had female either leaders or members of parliament, we still have many places where we don't have, including my country in Sierra Leone. We've not yet had a female president, and I think we're way past time for that.
Now, your story in itself is one of achievement, coming from Sierra Leone to being an attorney in the United States and also now eyeing a political seat. Can women like us from Africa who are in the diaspora help those back in the continent achieve some of the goals that they really would like to see achieved?
Yes, I believe so. I think that as women in the diaspora, if we can build our own power and our own strength, and we strengthen our voices here, and we strengthen the goals that we have laid out for ourselves here in the diaspora, we can take that back home. And we can encourage other women who are in Africa to look beyond what has historically been carved out for them and ensure that they understand you can have the education, you can have the power, you can have the political goals, and you can actually attain those goals. But it takes all of us. It takes the men, it takes us that are here as women who should be able to reach out to our African sisters and bring them along with us.
Fatmata, thank you very much for your insight into this important day for women.
Thank you for having me.
Fatmata Barrie is an immigration attorney and a native of Sierra Leone.